Good morning, everyone. T-Speaker 222, XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XM and Future Digibyte OG. And I guess it's good afternoon at 12:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America. I just put out 3 updates basically in the last 45 minutes to an hour. One on this station. Go watch my Swing Traders Anonymous. It talks about Tezos. We also speak of XYO in the ISO. I believe we might have brought it up, or one of the two. And we've also talked about a couple others. We talked about XDC, XRP, XLM, a little bit on the ISO headquarters, a little more deep dive. And then we also did on Swing Traders Anonymous, we covered the state of crypto. We did total crypto market cap. We did Tether, and we went over XTZ, Tezos as a possible swing trade number 39, just like yesterday. Stay transparent, so we're going to keep it the same. It obviously likes what I'm saying at 2.22% this entire time, and now it can switch anytime because that is awesome that it would stop right there. So, but for today, I already did my XRP XLM DGB update. So what I want to do right now is for a select group of my audience, I'm going to do VeChain, ZIL, and... Ready? I told you I wouldn't forget. When it started pumping, you asked me, please, when it starts to pump up, because we had it projected, I said I would come back to it, and it is, where the hell is it at? Because I'm going to move it up into my XPR Proton. I told you I would remember, I just don't remember who I told this to, but I'm going to do, right now, VeChain, ZIL, Proton, and then we're out. And I know this video won't get as many views, yada, 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 but whatever. You've already got the XRP video, so if you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's pumping. I'm not going to talk any more about it. I did it on XRP, XLM, and DGB. So we'll start with VeChain. We've got VeChain lined up. But what I'm going to do with all of these, as I redo these, I'm going to put them in symmetrical triangles so that you guys can see it in the easiest possible terms on what's actually going on. So if we come on VeChain... We'll come all the way from out here. We'll come across into the future. And VeChain did pull out. I mean, so you can, if you want to use that, you can. That can be on the 4-hour. The daily was down a little bit, but this is crossing with what we see on the movement now. So you can use that. But, I mean, this is technically needs to go out farther into the future, though. So we're not even where we need to be if you're going to do it realistically. But we can't figure that out until we come across with some of the support. So what I would do is just look at it from a downtrend and see if we can break this. Because if it breaks this area right here, obviously this is the widest out part we can go. And that could be the start, you know, of an even bigger pattern. But what I would say is look how we're meeting now, guys, with VeChain. So we've had a double bottom come across, so we know we've got very confluent, very strong support down here at this level. Come down a little bit farther, actually. We don't want to... I'd say that's pretty good. It's because then it comes down here as a few wicks below it, but that's perfect. So, I mean, when you're looking at VeChain, and that's how you can get this confluency now, guys. That's not where it's supposed to be. I'm going to bring it out to where it meets over here, and that's how much room we have in VeChain if you go like this. And obviously, we're going farther back, but that's to demonstrate how strong that support is right there. So, that's why I did it like that. What you can actually do for the smaller... symmetrical is you can say, hey, we started here, this is where we got our new support, we had reconfirmation right there, and then that's what we're actually in. So I'm just showing you, though, the grand scale below it, if we take it out to a wider time frame. So that's what we could be looking at for VeChain. So a little more room left in here. I'd be looking for the push up to like 12.77. If I'm in a position, I'm not getting out until 12.7 as long as Bitcoin's cooperating, because if it breaks above that, well, then we can be off for a little bit of a run as well. But it's already got 9%, so pay attention to that. we've got V-chain, and I'm going to take out the confusion, and we're going to do the same thing we just did with V-chain. Because with ZIL, it's also got a very nice support structure that comes from all the way back here, and it held true all the way through. So when we break down, this is going to be the area where we're going to be targeting. And we're not going to go all the way up, you know, to our past all-time highs. We could. Actually, we absolutely could. You know what? Fuck it. Since I don't get to ZIL as often as I would like. Look how strong that support is right there. And we can go all the way back, pull this out so we can meet. Because we're trying to get some confluency on where this is going to end. So, I mean, based on what we're seeing, I think that's a pretty logical interpretation of what we're seeing with ZIL. From a longer out time frame, I mean, so that tells you, and especially with the move with V-chain, I think ZIL's got some room to run, and I think it's going to come up here somewhere. So from right here, maybe somewhere right here, which would mean V-chain still has to run, because if this comes up to 12.8, V-chain's going higher. And I almost feel like with V-chain, maybe we should go out farther. Yeah, we should. We definitely should. Because we can play the top, and it'll show you back to our support. So there you go. So we're going to take this out because, yeah, even though we have support there, we have this long-standing structure. So that's V-chain. A little bit of room left, but if you were going to take a chance on V-chain or ZIL, ZIL hasn't quite made the run of V-chain, and it seems to have more room left in the symmetrical triangle. At least a little more than V-chain. And then XPR, we had done a lot of stuff. And if you watch, it broke out like we said if it went to that area. Now it's breaking up. So that's what we were saying. If it bounced off of that, we had a nice chance to bounce way up. And it did. It bounced right out of the downtrend. That wasn't even on a downtrend. We're on an uptrend like we talked about. And we expanded out. And now we broke up. And this is exactly what we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And now you can be off to the races. So now we can come like this and try to get a future look of exactly how far this is going to go for all my fans of Proton. Because this is starting to run wild now, which is awesome. Just remember, you're going to come to a meeting point around, you know, somewhere right in here. So we're starting to tighten up here. Once you break out of this rising wedge, you can call it, because it's getting smaller as we go up. You know, you're going to have to probably come down and reconsolidate. We'll have to check out later, but it looks like it's starting to, you know, it's coming up here now, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm saying. It's still got room. It's got good volume flow. So if you're in it, pay attention, but congratulations for riding that absolutely perfectly. And I know I got some messages from people with XYT or XYO. And, man, XYO is just fucking flying off of that support. I've told a few people, man, I wish I could buy that. But it's not on my, what I use. And I only use one trading site. I have to. So, but yeah, fuck me, did that fucking blow up. So yeah, guys, make sure you're taking profits if they're available. Stay blessed.